campus of Northwest Nazarene University, the 2025 GNAC Softball Championship. Today's third game matches the number 2 seeded St. Martin Saints and the number 3 seeded Simon Fraser Redleaf. The Saints entered today's game with a record of 32-13, and the Redleafs entered today's game with a record of 23-24. First, looking at the non-starters for St. Martin. Number 6, Annalise Griffith. Number 7, Trinity Cabana Rodriguez. Number 8, Bridget Johnson. Number 9, Holland Jensen. Number 13, Taylor Orgall. Number 14, Tegan Northleaf. Number 17, Jules de Trinidad. And number 30, Faith Croft. And now let's make the starting lineup for the designated visiting team, St. Martin Saints. Leading off the shortstop, number 23, Ashley Goodale. Batting second, the first baseman, number 26, Heather Ebner. Hitting third, the second baseman, number 15, Shelby Lawson. Batting cleanup, the designated player, number 22, Amanda Peterson. Hitting fifth, the center fielder, number 25, Haley Agama. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 4, Paypar Schultz. Hitting seventh, the third baseman, number 3, Kaylee Walker. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 28, Ava Hampton. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 10, Alyssa Dewey. And in the fifth position, at pitcher, number 18, Chloe Lovington. And on head coach is Jim Peterson. Next, let's meet the new starters for Simon Fraser. Number 1, Nevada Johnson. Number 2, Annika Jansen. Number 4, Taylor Henley. Number 5, Monica Ball. Number 7, McKenna Simmons. Number 15, Ella Booth. Number 24, Rachel Bowles. Number 25, Alexandra Neville. And number 33, Peyton Sablansky. And now let's make a starting lineup for designated home team, Simon Fraser Redleaf. Leading off, the center fielder, number 9, Erin Murphy. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Grace McMillan. Hitting third, the left fielder, number 20, Abby McLean. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 17, Kristen Gallagher. Hitting fifth, the designated player, number 13, Cassidy F. Ellis. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 23, Johnny Bolton. Hitting seventh, the third baseman, number 8, Ray Bates. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 12, Lauren Lugdahal. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 3, Lizzie Segar. And in the sixth position, at pitcher, number 16, Jordan Rupel. The assistant coaches are Paul Peterson and Courtney Summers. Simon Fraser's head coach is Stacey Fournier.
Leading off for St. Martin's, number 23, Ashley Goodale.
Welcome back. This is the beginning of Game 5. It's our second elimination game in the GNAC 2025 Softball Championships. We're the home team, Simon Fraser University, in the field facing St. Martin's University. At the plate, the shortstop, Ashley Goodale. The first pitch in for a strike at 3:02 p.m. That ball's lined into left field, just inside the left field line. And Goodale starts with a single. First baseman Heather Ebner comes to the plate. There's the replay for us. Ball is up for ball one. Ball's down in the dirt. That wild pitch will advance Goodale down to second base. So how did we get here? Simon Fraser and St. Martin's faced off in game one of the tournament. St. Martin's defeated them 2-1. That pushed Simon Fraser into the losers bracket with their first loss. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball. In the first game this morning in the winners bracket, St. Martin's faced off against Western Washington, who had defeated Billings yesterday 10-2. But St. Martin's fell to Western Washington 10-6. And that pushed St. Martin's into the losers bracket. So they had a game off while they sat and waited the winner of the two teams that had a loss, Simon Fraser and Montana State Billings. That game concluded about an hour ago with Simon Fraser beating Billings 9-0. Therefore eliminating Montana State Billings. So that walk for Ebner brings Lawson to the plate. She takes ball one. Shelly Lawson, the second baseman for St. Martin's. Pitch in there for a strike. Fly ball into right center. Drifting over to make the catch and hold the runners was Look to Hide. Amanda Peterson, designated player, steps in for St. Martin's. Runners at first and second now with one out. We're here in the top of the first. Ball's down, runners hold. On the mound, Jordan Ruppel, 4-8 on the year, 4.47 ERA. Ruppel, 73 2/3 innings. There's the pitch, in for a strike. 1-1. And on the hands, fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now for Peterson. Fouled straight back into the parking lot. Ball's down, gets away from the catcher. Runners are going to advance to second and third on another wild pitch. Outside. Full count now. For Peterson. And she gets a ball she can handle. She's going to drop it into shallow left field. And the ball gets past McGlynn. And McGlynn slid, and the ball kind of took a funny hop to the left. I think so. Yeah, the discussion on, I think that the error is what caused the advance to second base. So a single with an error to advance her to second. Two-run score here in the top of the first for St. Martin's. Halle Field, the center fielder, steps in here with one out, and that runner on second base. In for strike one. There's a swing and a miss for strike two, as Peterson is out on second base. And she hangs tough, fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. Simon Fraser is the home team today by virtue of the coin flip, as both teams have a loss, and this is an elimination game. That ball's hit on the nose, but right at the left fielder, and McGlynn makes the grab, and the runner stays at second base. The catcher, Kekai Schultz, steps in for St. Martin's. She takes ball one outside. And ball two. And strike one called. 2 balls, 1 strike for Schultz. Two. Fouled back to the screen. She'll stay 2-2, 2 outs. And they're going to get the call on the check swing for the strikeout. That ends the top half of the first. St. Martin scores 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error with 1 runner left on base. At the end of a half inning, St. Martin's 2, Simon Fraser coming to bat.
Here's to the ones who are always there.
These are pretty yummy.
Because being there is everything.
I heard you're not feeling too good.
That's why at Blue Cross of Idaho, we're making sure the care you need always has a way to find you. Down any road. Or around the corner. Doing more. Giving back.
Thanks.
And going further. Everywhere it matters.
Good day.
Blue Cross of Idaho.
Up for Simon Fraser in the box. She takes ball 1 low. Kaylee Walker with a nice grab. Turns over a ground ball to second base. And it is scooped up by Lawson. Thrown over to Ebner for the out. The left fielder, Abby McGlenn, steps in. Chloe Leverington, 132 innings pitched at this point in the season. Ball down. 3.45 ERA. And 81 strikeouts. Right down the left field line. Deweese takes care of it. And that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, as Simon Fraser goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We move to the top of the second. Third baseman Kaylee Walker will step in and get it started for the Saints. She takes first pitch strike from Rupel. Fouled straight back, 0-2. Ball up, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul straight back again. Reset at 1-2. That ball is hit hard down the right field line. Picked up in the outfield by Look to Hide and held at a single for Walker. Brings Ava Heston to the plate, the right fielder. Bunt is popped up, and it is caught by the catcher.
Now batting number 10, Alyssa DeWillies.
So the left fielder will step in, left-handed left fielder Alyssa Deweese. One out here in the top of the second. Called strike. Foul ball for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, 1 out. Outside for ball 1. Another foul ball. Keeps the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gets on top of that one. Shortstop to second to first, not in time. Simon Fraser cuts off the lead runner. Louise reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down. Brings the leadoff hitter, shortstop Ashley Goodell, to the plate. Takes ball 1 down low. Up, ball 2, 2-1. And down for a ball 3. 3-1. In for a strike. Full count now. 3-2, 2 down. Runners will be in motion. And pitch is fouled off. Ground ball down past third base. We'll do it again. And ball 4. Heather Ebner steps in. The first baseman walked in the first inning and then scored a run on the single and error on Peterson's ball. But with 2 outs, in a position to do some damage. Took a healthy cut at that. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Ebner 15 doubles, 11 home runs. And the holder of the GNAC single season RBI record is Heather Ebner. Pretty neat, or she's tied actually, I should say. So here's an opportunity for her to take that title on her own. She did that earlier today, and she's tied with Northwest Nazarene's Maya McNichol from 2022, as they both have 66 RBIs. So here's a chance for Ebner. She takes ball up, 2-2. Ebner hitting .440. Has started all 45 games for the Saints. Ball's down, gets away from the catcher, and the wild pitch will let the runners advance, and now Ebner really has them there. 3-2, 2 down. First base is empty. Ebner looks to deliver. And she fouls it off. And they'll do it again. And she drives the ball into center field, but hit it too hard as it carried to the center fielder for the line out to end the inning. So on the top of the second, St. Martin scores no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors with 2 runners left on base. St. Martin. In the bottom of the second for Simon Fraser, first baseman Kristen Davidouk will step in as the Red Leafs find themselves trailing 2-0. And the swing through the first pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Up and away, ball 1. Ball's pulled down the left field line. Foul. There's a ball hit 1 hop to the third baseman. She makes a nice grab. Walker does, and turns and throws her out. On the replay, nice play by Walker to get the 5-3 put out. Cassidy Affelt, the designated player for Simon Fraser, steps in. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Pitch is up. 1-1. Affelt at 378. On the season. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The winner of this game advances to the GNAC championship game tomorrow morning against Western Washington, who's gone 2-0. There's 0-2 pitch is down, 1-2. That game will start at 11 a.m. And then game 2, if necessary, will follow after that, as Western Washington is the only 2-0 team, so they'll have to get beat twice, as one of these two teams will come through the elimination bracket. Ball's fouled straight back. Full count, 3-2. Good battle here with Affelt and Leverington. The pitch pops straight up. Third baseman looks to have a beat on it, and she does. Right in front of the dugout, Walker goes over and makes the grab. So, nice job by Walker. She's responsible for both outs this inning so far. Janny Balkin steps in, second baseman for Simon Fraser. Balkin at just under 300 at 296 this season. Balkin takes down, ball 2. There she gets in front of that one out. It's going to be over the head of DeWeese for extra bases. Balkin cruises into second base for her 4th double of the season. Ray Bates steps up, the third baseman for Simon Fraser, with now Balkin in scoring position with 2 outs. And that ball's lifted into left field. DeWeese takes a few steps back and makes the grab. So in the bottom of the second, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 2 innings, the score remains St. Martin's 2, Simon Fraser 0. So the solo shot leads off the inning. Brings Amanda Peterson, the designated player, to the plate. Peterson hitting .389. And that hits her. So a hit by pitch will bring up Halle Field, the center fielder who flew out to the left fielder in the first inning. Again, that takes a first pitch strike. Swing and a foul ball for strike two. There's the pitch, and this ball's down the left field line, but foul. Stays 0-2 for Agena. One ball, two strikes. Fly ball into center field. Murphy's got a beat on it, makes the grab.
Now batting, number 4, Kekai Schultz.
So makes the first out of the inning. Brings the catcher, Kekai Schultz, up to bat. Schultz hitting .296. .42 doubles this year for Schultz. Excuse me, I'm sorry, 32 hits. My fault, 10 doubles. Misspoke there. That'd be a heck of a year, huh? 42 doubles. And she takes 1-1. That ball's into center field, and Murphy, another good jump on the ball. She makes the catch for the second out. Third baseman Kaylee Walker steps in. She singled in the second down the right field line. Takes first pitch strike from Rupel. And second pitch in there for a strike. 0-2 now for Walker. Pops it straight up. Catcher goes back, but it's going to sneak over the screen and be out of play. Still 0-2 for Walker. 0-2 pitch is up, 1-2. Pitch also up, 2-2. That ball is hit into left field, and it drops for a single. The right fielder, Ava Heston, steps in. She popped up in the second inning on a bunt attempt. But with 2 outs, that's probably not going to be something she's called on to do here this appearance. She takes strike 1. Runners at first and second here with 2 down. Heston hitting .273. Pitch is down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fights it off down the right field line. Drops foul. 2-2. And that moves the count full to 3-2, 2 down. Runners will be moving. Heston with the payoff pitch, ground ball to the left side of the shortstop, long throw across, and she makes the nice play as McMillan reaches back and throws it across to get the out. In the top of the third, the Saints score 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. After 2.5, St. Martin's 3, Simon Fraser 0.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Game number 5. And she swings through it for strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Leverington jumps out 0-2. Line drive just foul down the left field line. Look to hide, 351 this year. Ball in the dirt, 1-2. Okay. Ball on the ground, bobbled. Shortstop picks it up, but she reaches on the error as her wheels were too much. E6 puts Look to Hide at first base and brings the catcher, number 3, Lizzie Surgrieve, to the plate. First pitch strike to Surgrieve. Out off her front foot into shallow right field. Lawson goes back and makes the grab.
Now batting number 9, Aaron Murphy.
First out of the inning takes us back to the top of the order. Aaron Murphy lined out to the third baseman in the first inning. First pitch strike to Murphy from Leverington. Again to third base. This time it's past Walker for the base hit. Walker nearly snagged it again as she was going to her left. You could hear it just touch her glove, but it was out of her reach for a base hit into left field. About 2 feet from the exact same spot she hit it earlier today. So runners at first and second with 1 out here for Grace McMillan, the shortstop, as she swings through it for strike 1. Grace McMillan hitting .291. She's got 43 hits this season. She lays down the bunt, and she's going to reach on the fielder's choice as Leverington was going to go to third. As you'll see on the replay here, there's the bunt, and then she goes to third, but not there to cover. So the question will be, did she could probably be give it her a sacrifice there, since she was not bunting for a base hit. So that moves the runners over, and the bases are loaded now with 1 out for Abby McGlynn, the left fielder. Nice swing by McGlynn, as this is the biggest threat that Simon Fraser has built up this ball game. Ball 1-2. Down 2-2. Foul ball down the third base line. 2-2. Ball lifted into left field. Out of play. Outside of our camera angle and from the press box, we can't see the extreme left field in foul territory, so was out of play. 2-2 again. There she gets on top of it. Going to cut off the runner at home. No, they're going to call her safe. So she's going to reach. Here's the replay. We'll see what we can look at. And I think it was a good call. She was there. So the fielder's choice scores a run. And the bases remain loaded for Kristen Daviduke. Daviduke grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning. Simon Fraser's on the board. And they're just outside. Two balls, no strikes. Fouled back for strike one. 3-1 now, bases loaded. Just one out. That ball is ripped into right field. It's going to be a one-hopper. Here comes the throw, and that's going to score 2 runs on the 2-run single for Kristen Daviduke. And it moves the runner to third as well, so runners at the corners now. Looks like St. Martin's is going to ask for maybe an appeal on the back pick, maybe. But here, we'll look at it on the replay. It appeared to me that she was safe. Here comes the action right there. It was a close play, but I don't think it's definitely not egregious, that's for sure. Looked to be, but they're having a long discussion, and I guess it would have to be the home plate umpire having a view down the line there on any kind of an appeal. Oh, then they have overturned it. So it appears that the home plate umpire has taken over on the appeal. Oh, goodness. The first base umpire has just ejected the Simon Fraser coach. I'd love to get the interpretation as to why. Goodness sakes. I've got my headphones on, but I could barely hear what she was saying. So Simon Fraser Head coach Stacy Fournier has been ejected. Casey Affelt at the plate. Now with 2 outs because the back pick was overturned. So that's going to be (3-4) on the back pick. And Affelt, the designated player, steps in with 1-1 and a runner on third. We're tied at 3. That ball's hit into right center field. Both outfielders going back. And it looks like Agena has a beat on it and makes the grab to end the inning. But not before Simon Fraser scores 3 runs on 1 hit. There was an error, and they leave 1 runner on base. At the end of 3, we're tied 3-3.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
Leading off the top of the 4th, Alyssa Deweese for St. Martin's. Ball on the ground, shortstop picks it up, throw across, and Deweese is retired.
Now batting 123, Ashley Goodell.
Back to the top of the order for St. Martin's. Ashley Goodale, 1 for 1, as she had a hit in the first inning and then walked in the second. Pitches up, catches the umpire's mask, so hopefully she can shake it off and be all right. They asked her if she's okay. She's waving it off.
It was disgusting. I'm pretty sure that was a snot because that's not something that comes out.
2 balls, 1 strike for Goodell. Call strike, 2-2. A swing up the middle, base hit for Goodell.
Batting 126, Hannah
Heather Ebner comes to the plate, 0 for 1, fly out in the second to center field and walked in the first. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Change up and a stolen base. Change up for a called strike, 1-2. Meanwhile, Goodell steals second. So Ebner's got a runner in scoring position here with a 1-2 count. And like I mentioned before, she is tied for the GNAC single season RBI record. So a base hit here will give her the record. And the wild pitch bounces up and over the catcher and moves the runner to third base. So now Ebner has a chance to base hit or a sac fly will get the job done. She takes high, 3-2. And there is a ripped ball up the middle, and that does give her the GNAC single season record, as that was a nice piece of hitting. And puts the Saints back ahead, 4-3. Shelly Lawson steps in, the second baseman, but not before, here we have timeout. As we've got a meeting in the circle for Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser now playing without their head coach, Stacy Fournier, as she was, at least from my vantage point, surprisingly ejected last inning. First pitch in for a strike against Lawson. Lawson homered to lead off the third inning with a solo home run. She's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Puts it down the right field line. That is going to drop in for a single. And we'll have runners at first and second. Amanda Peterson, the designated player, comes to bat here. One down, runners on first and second. Ball's down. 1 ball, no strikes. Peterson 1 for 2 with a single in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch in the third. So she's been on base in both appearances. There's a pitch into left field. That's going to drop for a single and move the runners one station. And now the Saints have the bases loaded with one out. Halle Agena, 0 for 2. Fly balls to center and left field. Infield in, short and second playing on the baselines. Ball is up. Any hard hit ground ball is likely to get through here with the infield playing to cut the runoff at the plate. There's the pitch, and it's in for a called strike. 1-1. Ball's down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2 now on Agena. Nowhere to put her, bases loaded with 1 out. There's the pitch and the foul ball. Gets the sign, Rupel does. Pitch and a line drive right at the second baseman, but the runners all react and get back, and that's the second out. So Kekai Schultz will come to the bat with 2 down. But we're going to have a change here by Simon Fraser. Maybe it looks like Bork might be coming back in, and she is. So Jordan Rupel will give way to number 5, Monica Bork. So Bork will get loose, get set to face off against Kekai Schultz, the catcher. Bork pitched the first game here against Montana State Billings. She went the distance, got the win. In that 9-0 win, got the shutout. Had 4 strikeouts. Scattered 4 hits in that ball game. So she is loose now and ready to go. 2 outs, and we're back into action. First pitch is fouled off into foul territory in right field. Look to hide. Hustles over there and retrieves it. Takes ball 1. Excuse me. Up high, ball 2, 2-1. That's up, 3-1. So Schultz, 3-1, should be pretty good pitch to hit. Swing and a foul ball. And full count, 2 down. Runners will be on the move. And it's ball 4. So Schultz will pick up an RBI on the walk. St. Martin's plates another run. Kaylee Walker, third baseman's 2 for 2. She'll step in here against Bork. A pair of singles, 1 to left and 1 to right. She takes the first pitch for strike 1. And that ball misses for ball 1, 1-1. Check swing, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball up, 2-2. 2 runs have crossed here in the top of the 4th. That has St. Martin's leading 5-3. Ball is up, and again we go full with 2 outs. And the pitch. Walker singles into left field. That's hit hard enough that it just holds the runners. Can advance 1 base. So an RBI single for Walker. And she's 3 for 3. Looks like we're going to have perhaps a pinch hitter 30. That is Faith Prosh is going to step in and hit for Heston.
Pinch hitting for St. Martin's. Number 30, Faith Prosh.
Prosh pinch hit earlier today and came through with a big hit. Ball's down. That ball's hit up the middle. Shortstop makes the grab and steps on second base to end the inning. So, in the top of the fourth, St. Martin scores 3 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. After 3.5, St. Martin 6, Simon Fraser 3.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Into the bottom of the fourth. Jenny Balkin will lead it off, the second baseman. She doubled in the second inning. Right back to the pitcher, and Leverington will toss it over for the putout. That'll bring Ray Bates, the third baseman, up. She flew out to left field in the second. Foul ball. In for the called strike, 0-2 now. Ball is up, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball's lifted into left, shallow left field. And DeWeese hustles in to make the grab.
Now batting number 12, Lauren Luftehide.
With 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth, Lauren Luchtehide steps in, the right fielder for Simon Fraser. First pitch strike to Luchtehide. Ball is down, 1-1. Slap down the left field line, going to be out of play. Another foul ball. Look to hide, stays alive. Two. Up the middle for a base hit.
Now batting number 3, Lizzie.
That brings up the catcher, Lizzie Shergrieve. 2 outs. They hit the runner on first for Shergrieve. That ball's hit hard down in the left field. It's going to go all the way off the wall. They're going to send her home, and it'll be a stand-up RBI double for Lizzie Shergrieve. So the Red Leaves string 2 hits together, a single and then a double. Takes us back to the top of the order as Erin Murphy, the center fielder, will step in. She's 1 for 2 today with a single in the third, a line out in the first. Cuts that St. Martin's advantage now to 6-4. First pitch strike for Murphy. Down, 1-1. Put into play. Third baseman Walker makes a nice, Bates makes the nice play. No, I was right, sorry. Looked at the wrong book. Walker makes a nice play, throws across to Ebner to end the inning. But not before Simon Fraser scores 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete, St. Martin 6, Simon Fraser 4.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Here we are in the top of the 5th. Ball's down. Elise DeWeese leads it off. And in for the called strike, 1-1. Pitch is up, 2 balls, 1 strike. Called strike, 2-2. And ball's down, 3-2. Foul ball. Reset the count, 3-2. Ball into shallow foul ground, and it drops. No play on the ball. Deweese steps back in. Good battle going here. Left fielder playing fairly shallow, McGlynn. Center field, right field at normal depth. Foul ball down the line. There's a pitch. It's pulled to the second baseman, and she Balkan flips it over to Daviduke for the first out of the inning. Takes us back to the top of the order. The shortstop, Ashley Goodale, steps up. She's 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles. Also scored 2 runs and a walk. It's a pitch, fouled off for strike 1. She takes strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. And the swing and the miss for the strikeout. The strikeout brings up the first baseman, Heather Ebner. Ebner 1 for 2 today. RBA single last inning. And then a fly ball out to center field. She walked in the first. Great accomplishment for Ebner at her last at-bat. She became the single-season GNAC RBI record holder with her 67th RBI of the season. Takes 2 balls, no strikes. Ball's down, and she'll draw her second walk of the afternoon. The 2-out walk brings Shelby Lawson, the second baseman, up to the plate. She's 2 for 3 this afternoon with a home run and a single. Also scored after that single, so 2 runs scored. And she takes a called strike. Change up misses, 1-1. Ball's down in the dirt, but runners hold. Ball down, 3 balls, 1 strike. Full count. Ball's in play, over to the shortstop. She'll throw it across and get the out to end the inning. No runs on no hits. There were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-4 St. Martin's.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
In the bottom of the fifth, the shortstop, Grace McMillan, will lead it off as the Red Leafs trail by 2. First pitch strike from Leverington. One and one. Two one. A base hit into right field for McMillan.
Now batting number 20, Abby McGlynn.
Abby McGlynn steps in, the left fielder. McGlynn 0 for 2 today. Fly ball to center fielder in the first and reached on a fielder's choice in the third. One ball, one strike. That ball's hit hard into right field as well. It'll advance the runner one base. And we've got runners at first and second with no outs here for Simon Fraser. The first baseman, Kristen Daviduk, will step in. 1 for 2 today with a single in the third. She takes ball one low. And ball two. Pitch. And St. Martin's is able to turn the double play as Walker fields the ground ball, steps on it, and then throws across, and it's dug out by Ebner. Huge double play. Cassidy Affelt steps in, the designated player. It's a foul ball for strike two. After the double play, it's the runner out at second base for Affelt. That ball's fouled down the left field line. Up for ball one, 1 and 2. Affelt here in the home half of the 5th inning. Another foul ball. Ball's down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball's hit hard up the middle. That's going to score a run as Affelt pounds one right back up over second base. And McGlynn will come in and score. Jenny Balkin steps into the batter's box, the second baseman for the Red Leafs. She doubled in the second, 1 for 2. That ball is, through the third baseman for an error. Keeps the inning alive. So runners on first and second after the error on Walker. Brings the third baseman, Ray Bates, to the plate. Bates 0 for 2 with a pair of fly balls to left field. And a foul ball for strike 1. That's pitch is put into play, but it's eaten up. Second baseman bobbles it and commits the error. And the second consecutive error plates a run for Simon Fraser. Runners now at first and third. That one was an error on Lawson. And a pitching change now for St. Martin's.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for St. Martin's, number 8, Bridget Johnson.
Bridget Johnson will step in for Leverington. And now we're tied 6-6 after back-to-back errors have allowed runs to score for Simon Fraser. So runners at the corners for Lauren Lookdehide, the right fielder for Simon Fraser. She's 1 for 2. Singled up the middle in the fourth. First pitch for Johnson is in for a strike. Bridget Johnson, 6-2 on the year, 6.22 ERA. Has pitched 59 2/3 innings before entering the ball game. Ball 2, 2-1. Foul ball. Over towards the St. Martin's dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runners at the corners for St. Martin's, or excuse me, Simon Fraser. Tell you, they're both wearing red and white and black, and and the pitch is down. Full count, 3-2. Runner at first is Bates. She'll be on the move. There's the pitch, swing and a miss, and strike 3 will end the inning. But Simon Fraser plates 2 runs on 3 hits, but there were 2 big errors, and they leave 2 runners on base. And we're tied at the end of 5, 6-6, here in the elimination game 5 of the Great Northwest Athletic Conference Softball Championships.
Here's to the ones who are always there.
These are pretty yummy.
Because being there is everything.
I heard you're not feeling too good.
That's why at Blue Cross of Idaho, we're making sure the care you need always has a way to find you. Down any road or around the corner. Doing more. Giving back.
Thanks.
And going further. Everywhere it matters.
It's a good day.
Blue Cross of Idaho.
Excuse me, 2 for 2 with the hit by pitch. Won't hold that one against her. Pair of singles to left field today. In for a called strike, 1-1. And just off the zone. Ball 2, 2-1. Three and one. There's a pitch, it's up, and they draw the walk. So Peterson will hustle down to first base.
Now batting 125, Halle again.
Brings up the center fielder. Halle again. 0 for 3. Hard hit ball last at bat to the second baseman. She attempts to bunt, but it goes foul. Ball is up, 1 ball, 1 strike. And she offers at another bunt and misses for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the swing and the miss for the strikeout and the first out of the inning. Strikeout will bring Kike Schultz, the catcher. Schultz walked in the 4th, lined out to the center fielder in the 3rd, and struck out in the 1st. That ball is hit sharply to the shortstop, picks it up, throws it across for the double play to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's 6-6 into the bottom of the 6th. First pitch in for a strike on Sergreave. The catcher leads it off for Simon Fraser. She is 1 for 2 with a double in her last at bat. Out in front of that one, ground ball into foul territory down the left field line. Bridget Johnson is in the circle for St. Martin. She came in relief of Chloe Leverington. Leverington had thrown 4 2/3 after also starting the first game earlier this morning at 10 a.m. Ball is down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's the pitch. Ball's foul. Picked nicely, however, by Walker. Change up, gets her up on her front foot. Fouls that off. Out of play down the line. 2-2. Ball is down. We'll move it to 3-2. pop fly to the second baseman will retire Surgrieve. First out of the inning. They move back to the top of the order. Here's the center fielder, Aaron Murphy. 1 for 3 today with a single. Looking for that all-important base runner. First pitch strike in for Johnson. Down for ball 1. 1-1. Two balls, one strike. Two. And a nice piece of hitting there by Murphy as she's able to slap one into left field on the changeup. She gets her second hit of the ball game. That brings the shortstop, Grace McMillan, up to bat. McMillan is 1 for 2 with a single and also a sacrifice bunt that moved the runners over. This one's hit into the left center gap. Center fielder on her horse. She makes the grab again over her right shoulder, backhanded. Here you'll get to see it on the replay. That was a great play. She got a nice jump on that. There you can see it as her left arm crosses over and makes the grab. So 2 outs now for Abby McGlenn. McGlenn, the shortstop, fouls it off. That was a really nice play by Agena out in center field. Got a nice jump on that. She was all the way to the warning track by the time she corralled it. Ball's down in the dirt. They're going to try to get her stealing, but they do not. So Murphy read that pitch down in the dirt and was able to take second base. Now McGlenn sees the go-ahead run just past the pitcher. And you'll see her in your screen here. There's the pitch. It's hit hard to the second baseman. She's going to pick it up and throw her out. And McGlenn goes down on the ground ball, and that ends the inning in the Simon Fraser threat as they score no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. After 6 complete, we're tied 6-6. In the top of the 7th, St. Martin's will be led off here by Kaylee Walker, the third baseman. 3 for 3 on the afternoon with 3 singles. 2 to left and 1 to right. Ball's going to get over the head of the third baseman. That's a fair ball, and that's her 4th hit of the ball game. Just well placed. That'll bring your right fielder, Ava Heston, to the plate. Up for ball 1. And she turns to square, sacrifice bunt, does her job. As the third baseman, Bates comes in and makes a good play to throw her out at first base. But it moves the runner into scoring position for Alyssa Dewey's. Oh for 3 today is Dewey's. That ball slapped down the line. It'll go foul. Off the screen. So Walker is at second base. St. Martin's trying to manufacture the go-ahead run here in the top of the 7th. And she takes strike 2. Counts 0-2 here on Deweese. Ball just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul ball. Count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball is down. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Deweese. Here in the afternoon sunshine, shadows from the big tree and outside of the right field wall starting to creep into right field. That ball's lifted into left field. It's going to be taken care of by McGlynn. The runner will stay at second base. So with 2 down, runner at second base for the leadoff hitter, Ashley Goodell. Goodell's 2 for 3. Struck out in the 5th, singled in the 1st and the 4th, and scored both times on base. Also walked in the 2nd. Defensive meeting here in the circle for Simon Fraser. So Goodell steps in. to face Bork. First pitch strike starts the at-bat. Fouled back off the screen for strike 2. Ball put in play. And a nice play by Bates to field the ground ball and take care of it with a strong throw over to Davidouk. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, tied 6 apiece. Foul ball down the third base line, picked up by Walker. Fouled off again. 2-2 as they reset. Ball down, full count. And a good battle here between Daviduke and Johnson. And Johnson wins the battle as she gets the strikeout for the first out of the inning. Strikeout brings Cassidy Affelt to the plate, the designated player for the Red Leafs. She's 1 for 3 today. Singled up the middle. And a nice aggressive swing through for strike 1. Down for ball 1, 1-1. Affeld at 377 on the season. Two balls, one strike. Foul ball down the left side. 2-2. And the battle is won with a ball down the left field line. She's going to slide in for the double.
Now batting number 23, Johnny Balkan.
So down the left field line, just enough to move DeWeese far enough to the line to take second base. Now Leverington is going to come back in, and they'll re-enter. So Affelt is on second base.
Now pitching for St. Martin's, number 18, Chloe Leverington.
Leverington back into the ball game to face Janny Balkan, as the winning run is at second base with one out. Balkan 297 on the season. She's 1 for 3 in today's ball game, a double in the second, and then reached on an error in the fifth. Leverington is ready to roll. So Affelt will hustle back to second base. And Balkan is in the box, ready to roll against Leverington. First pitch down, ball 1. Once again, the winner of this game advances to the championship game tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. right here at Halle Field. That ball is ripped into center field. It's going to be down, and that is going to score the run. And Simon Fraser has walked off here in the 7th with a solid single up the middle to score Affelt, who doubled to start the rally. And the game winner and the game-winning RBI goes to Janny Balkan, as she goes 2 for 4 today with the game-winning RBI. So your final score is 7-6 as Simon Fraser walks off, and they will face Western Washington University tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in the GNAC championship game And of course, if Simon Fraser wins game 1, we'll move to the second game if needed. So congratulations to Simon Fraser University. Also congratulations to St. Martin's University on a fine season as they came into this conference tournament as the 2 seed. But the final today is 7-6 in favor of Simon Fraser. So for Evan O'Kelly at the conference office, Josh Burkholder here at NNU, I'm Craig Stensgaard. Thank you for being with us this afternoon, and we'll have the action tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, right here for the GNAC Women's Softball Championship game. Good night.